welcome to another amazing day of FNTraining.tv, where we're here to talk about the fantastic and wonderful FileMaker and Claris platform now. So those are both awesome. I'm here with the wonderful, wonderful Nick Hunter, who I'm going to bring up so he can wave hi. Nick is here. He is a fantastic, fantastic developer and pretty much the premier knowledge about UI and UX in the developer community. So if you've got questions about that, he's here to answer them. We're currently in the middle of an advanced UI UX series, which is really fantastic. We're currently working our way through layouts. So today we have UI UX for advanced developers. We're doing accordions, how to build tab slide controls and embed tab controls. And tomorrow we will learn how to use value lists and objects, how to get layout object attributes in a very smart way. Friday is going to be an open Claris platform FileMaker Q&A with Richard and Jacob. Monday is next week's gonna be kind of interesting. We're gonna have split up Nick. Monday will be UI UX for developers, day 13. Tuesday will be pivot tables in FileMaker with Calvin Moseman. And then Wednesday will be day 14 for UI UX for advanced developers. If you'd like to support the channel, we would greatly appreciate it. We give the FM Training annual subscription bundle. That is 100 plus hours of really high energy video training content. Richard is one of the trainers, Nick's a trainer. Pretty much they cover every topic under the sun. If you know nothing about FileMaker, you become an intermediate developer by watching our stuff and learning and completing your own projects, making on your own stuff. So we recommend that. If you've bought it already, thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it. With that being said, Nick, I'm going to turn it over to you now. I'm sure you have a lot to cover.
Okay, so how are you today, March?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you.
Okay, I'm doing good too. It's raining very hard because, I realized that I was very, very close to the equator here. So the rain are really, really bad. When it's raining, it's raining. So anyway, so yes, today we're going to continue our series of our UI UX and how to make good looking layout, right? So good looking layout is it's subject to taste, right? But I'm going to I'm explaining to you that we have rules. There's rules, and those rules they cannot be violated. It's because it's the return of experience of decades of UI UX, right? So, and we have the UI UX and the design in general in the computer world changed dramatically since the beginning, since 1984. And this is because we have different screens, we have different usage, and of course we have a different education, right? In the 80s, we didn't have we didn't have a screen everywhere, right? We had TV, and some people crazy, they have computer at home or at work, but we didn't have a screen everywhere. So now we have screen in the car, we have screen at the bank, we have screen in a restaurant, we have screen everywhere. So of course that changed the paradigm and changed the culture that we have and how we see UI, and design in general, right? So that implies that we have education. When you have a widely education, you notice something is that all the commands and everything you do on the screen look alike. You go to the bank, you go at home, you go in your car, you see the same buttons, you see the same kind of things, and you have the same kind of interaction. Okay, most of the time is browsing, reading, selecting, right? So this is what you do, browsing, selecting, reading and selecting. So that is the main action that you do. That being said, in your FileMaker solution, you need to use the same paradigm and the same type of usage in your features and how to display information on the screen. And so I want to show you something here. It's a friend of mine. He gave me the authorization of showing him his solution. So to be honest, this solution has been built at the time of FileMaker 7. So we need to have some kind of indulgence with him. So we're not going to be mean with him, and we are not going to be harsh with him, right? So I have the authorization of showing you this. This is a typical FileMaker solution. I know it sounds familiar. It looks familiar, right? To many of things that you have seen, right? So you tell me what's wrong here. I will say pretty much everything, right? So first, you have no idea what's going on here. If you don't have an intensive training, there's no way you can know what. And even the guy who built it, you know, had difficulty to show me. You know, he had difficulty to show me the what's the name? How we can make that smaller? Okay, here. He had difficulty to show me how it works. You know, even the developer had difficulty to show me how it works, and it was extremely cumbersome. The user is extremely cumbersome. But as I said, we had the indulgence is he built that with FileMaker 7, right? So with all the mistakes we were doing that time, and I can name some of them. You know, is there a connection between this and this, right? It looks like it is there is a connection, and there is a connection, but we don't see that connection between that and that. That is pretty much a filter for that. We have no clue what's going on. You have no clue that you need to click this checkbox here in order to show the list, to change the list here, because we can edit those boxes. So you need to check the box here to show the appropriate listing. Okay. And okay, so you have many mistakes here, but the first is that what is this? We have no clue. What is this? But why is this there? Right? The project setup, you know. So why we have this here? You know, why those buttons here? To what are they connected? Are they related to this? Are they related to this? We have no clue what's going on. What the cost and the set of watts of this, right? We don't know. If that's the total of this, you know, the cell extended, you know, the cost extended. So why on top with no relation, visual connection between the two? So we have many mistakes here, right? So it's and here another one. So that's the same. What are those fields? We have no clue. Okay, delete copy record and change the equipment record. That okay. And the OK button here. I guess if we close the window. So there's many things that we don't know. Why is the total on top when it should be on bottom? Okay, so it's many mistakes. Okay, so but that means this database has been built without any knowledge of design. You know, my friend told me I have no clue what design means. I put a button where I found a space. Pretty much that's what he is doing, right? So, and putting data where it has space, right? So this is how we, you know, we used to see FileMaker solution in the past and as of today, right? So now, okay. So how we can avoid this? Okay. So how we can avoid this? So the first thing we can do to avoid this is to organize the thing. and to use the same. I'm using the same paradigm all the time, but because it fits very well. The kitchen, okay? The kitchen in your home is the example you need to follow, okay? So, and why that is because everything is organized. It should be organized, okay? So it is organized in my house. So if it's organized in my house, it should be organized in yours. Because I'm not very organized at home. So so they're the same principle, okay? First of all, you need to display what needs to be displayed and avoid the distraction, right? Avoid the distraction, avoid what is not necessary to be displayed, right? So in this example here, you know, we can see that we are not what's the name? Displaying things all time. We display things when it needs to be done. For example, here we have a construction that the name is accordion in the design. This object here, this object names accordion. So we use that accordion and we use that accordion, but there's many type of accordion in the world, right? So we use one type that is when you open one accordion, right? It collapses the other one, the previous one open. For example, when I open the first, so I have here I have three accordion, 1, 2, 3. When I open the first, it pushes down the two other. When I open the second, it closes the first and open the second. And when I open the third, right? He opened the third. Open, open, collapse, collapse, open, collapse, right? So this is how it's working. And so now I'm going to explain how it works. Okay? So this is how it works, right? So this object is what's the name? It's a slide control. Okay. So it's a slide control, like you know, here. So you see on the slide control. So you see how a slide control can act vertically when it is by definition it slide, you know, horizontally. Okay. Well, it doesn't matter because we display panel after panel, right? It looks sliding when I use it naturally. So if I add the buttons here on the bottom here, if I add this, it looks like this. So that's completely break the function because this is not what I want. You know, I don't want to see it sliding on the side like this. Slide control has a particularity. Okay, is that if you use a go-to object script steps, the slide is no longer showing the animation. So demonstration. Here, okay, the slide control has panels. Okay, so this is my slide control. So let's filter this. This is my slide control here. Okay, accordion one. No, sorry, not this one. This one. Slide control. Yeah, it was good. Slide control. Okay, this one. So I have. Let's close everything. So I have accordion 1, 2, 3, and the fourth is one that shows only the three buttons collapsed. Okay. So you have the first panel, the second panel, the third panel, and you have the fourth that shows everything closed. Okay, that's why I have a fourth. So here how it works. So let me copy the name. Slide control, you can go to a slide control. You can go to a slide by its name. So demonstration. Go to objects. Go to object slide control 3, for example. If I'm using that, right, this is what happened. We go to the slide 3. If I say I want to go to the slide 1, so I name the object, right? The object has a name, and I say go to object by the name. If I go to the 1, you go to the 1. Slide control, so you have to, in the scripts, you have to, by default, the animation is off. So no animation, okay? So if I said I want to go to the slide control 3, I have no animation. If I said on, and I want to go to the slide control 1, I have the animation. So on the scripts, you need to set the layout object animation on and off if you want the animation. But if you don't do anything, you don't specify anything, by default, there's no animation. Okay. So if there's no animation, it shows like I'm going to the next tab. So I don't care the orientation, horizontal, vertical, it doesn't matter, because I don't have, the animation is only side by side, it's only left to right, right to left. But if you have no animation, there's no problem. So you display slide after slide, tabs after tab, right? That's why FileMaker considered slide control a panel control, right? So panel control, you have two types of panel control. You have the tab control and the slide control. Those two are panels controls, right? So see here, the appellation, the naming is very important. Those two, that's why they are together, by the way. Those two are panels controls, right? Okay. So we go and 1 panel, 2, 3, 4. So now we understand something here, it's very simple, that those are buttons. On each panels, I have 3 buttons. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right? And here, 1, 2, 3. Right? And here, 1, 2, 3. So what those buttons do? This button it's a go-to object to the accordion. Okay, this is different. Okay, let's go there. I go to the accordion 2. This is the accordion 2. This is a position 2. Position 1, position 2. And this one goes to the position 3. If I'm going to the next tab, this one is the first one, so it's going to the tab control 1. And this one goes to the tab control 3. So what particular with this one? As you can see, here you have an arrow down, and here you have an arrow down, but here you have you have a cross. Why? Because this is how, you remember I have 4 tabs, right? Tab 2, tab 3, tab 1, okay? But I have a 4th tab. the tab that is completely collapsed, showing 3 buttons closed. You get that when you click here. So you open, close. If you click to the number 1, you close it. Open, close, open, close, open, close. You can go to the next one, but if you click again here, you close it. So there's no difficulty here. It's just button go to the slide. Go to object, go to object, go to object. On each slide, you position your button, you position your background, you position all your fields in order that they show. So here, for example, right, the button of this, the bottom of this object always placed on the same dimension, at the same size, and this one and at the same position. The top the same. Those two, the top of this and the top of this and the top of this is the same, right? Of this object, because that's why they look aligned. Everything looks aligned, you know, doesn't move. If I move this one here like this, immediately it will look awkward. See? It looks awkward. So you don't want to do that. You want to align, right? You want to align everything. Now, that being said, you can recycle object, and that's why I'm naming the object like this, right? I'm naming the object like this because this is the accordion 1, right? And this is the accordion 2, 3, 4. So you can go create a new layout, right? Paste your objects. Right? No, let's do this. Paste your object, and your object works. It still works with no problem. Just what you need to do now is, if you want to change it, is to reorganize. Let's say you want an accordion a little bit bigger, so you do this. So now let me show you an advanced technique to resize this. Let's say I want to resize this, okay? I want to resize. I want to make it bigger, right? So first of all, what you need to do, you need to show this panel, because this panel is transparent. This panel must be completely transparent, you know, but for you, for when you're building, it's better to see it. So that's why I always have a red, you know, kind of you take this, right, and you group it. So now you have one object, and you put it down like this, right? So now you have this, and you can make it bigger, okay? Right? So now, what you do here, you take the bottom of this object with this 624, you go to the next, and you put this one bottom on 624, boom. Now, you go back to the first, and you ungroup it, and you take the bottom of this second object, which is 575, right? And you put this on 575, okay? And now, this one is under 624. You go there, and you put this one on 624. And voila, it's done. You resized your object. So now you say, Nick, okay, cool, but I want to add a tab or remove one, but let's make it with adding a tab. You want to add a tab, so you take the first, right? So here the trick is this, right? First of all, you need to rename the last one 5 because you're going to add one. And here I'm showing something cool. I'm going to show you two things. First, you position yourself on the third, you add a tab, and the tab you're adding is between the third and the fifth. See? You position yourself when at the last you want to add a tab, and using that control is going to add here, is going to add a tab in between. So that's the first thing you need to know. Okay. But let's say you don't. Let's say you put that at the last one. And you want to move that, here between. You show the dots, and here you have the dot here. You click on the dot here, you click and hold, and then you move it. Boom. And this now is there. See, if you click and hold, move, boom. Click and hold, move, boom. So now it's easy. You there, you just have to rename this, accordion 4, right? So now I have 4, so I can hide the dots because I need the dots just to move things around, right? But I can hide the dots, and you can navigate with the panel here, or you can navigate with the panel here. It's up to you. So I have my 4th panel here, right? So you need to remap everything. First, you need to resize this, move this, okay? It added another one, okay? Shipping, and this can be, I don't know, home. This button here, it's the 4th one, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you change this and you say, I want to go to the 4th. But now that you have a 4 button, you need to organize this, and change it here. And so you need to remember here, we need to go to, so let's put it here. Okay. So it's on 624, 575, and 526. So what I'm doing here, I'm putting in the layout all the bottom of there, because everything changed on the bottom. We never touch on the top. So I'm copying and putting this here. So I have all their coordinates. So now it's easy. I can duplicate that button, right? And go. So this one, right? This one is the third. This one is 575. And this one end on 526. And this one, you position here and end on 624. Right? So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, you continue. This one is the 4th, so it's going to 575. And this one go to 524. Now we have to build one from scratch. Okay? We have to build one from scratch. So what we do, right? This one is empty, completely empty, very simple. We go there, we copy those 3 buttons and we duplicate. You go back there. So the top is 54. So I'm going to the 4th. I'm putting this here, which is 54. So this one is ready, right? Now, I just copy this one, duplicate, and this one needs to be at the end of this one, right? So, and it needs to finish at 624. The bottom is 624. They're all on 624, right? right? So now this one is named home, right? And we need to do the fifth one. Just add this one here, and thanks to the guides, we know where to go. A little bit more. This one is a little bit too much. Yes. This one needs to be a little bit more down. Oops. Yeah, see, we have the guides to the rescue. Okay, so now we have a perfectly aligned. So this one here, I take the coordinate of this one, 208. I'm going to the fifth, and I'm positioning this one to 208. So now we have a new accordion with 4 tabs, okay? And well organized. So we can resize this one with this. Okay. So we have a nice, organized, and well-positioned tab accordion, right? So, but we need to do something. You remember this one, this button here, always go to the last one, to the one where everything is closed. So I need to go there, and I need to change this to go to the fifth, because I added one. So I need to go to all of them and do the same here. So pretty much it took me like 11 minutes to build, to add a tab to this accordion. Why? Is because I'm using the script here. Otherwise, you imagine you need to click here, go to object, edit the go to object, put the name. No. You have one script that go to the object, slide navigation, and then you have a parameter that says, oh, go there, right? If you don't have this, right, the script, it takes much longer because the parameter is there. Click parameter, right? It's very simple. So now I have a new object that works perfectly. Yes. Right? So why this object is important? It's important because it uses the verticality. FileMaker doesn't have any object that use verticality. They always go horizontal. When I was there, I was fighting a little bit for that. But, they said, whatever, I said, whatever, I'm going to build it for you, right? And I come with this accordion stuff, right? So I can show you that FileMaker is using accordion as well. Here, FileMaker is using accordion. This is an accordion. So I'm not alone using that, right? So it's using the same, I'm using the same principle. I click and I collapse the 2 on the bottom, top, top. So we can see that here we do the same, right? Top, 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 button, 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 right? And I added one feature that the other one doesn't have, that is it's collapsing everything. I can collapse all the tabs. So this is clean because I can now organize my stuff in a way, in a clean way. It's very clean. I can collapse everything. So if I choose by default to open the first one by default. So the first one is open because I put on the first one the summary, so it's kind of important. I don't want to collapse it, but I could have chosen to just collapse everything. So why this is important? It's important because it doesn't look like a tab. Remember, I did that in another webinar. So the trick here is to copy and paste the button, see, the coordinates. And this is very important when you do this, right? You have the coordinates of the objects ready for you, right? So it makes everything simpler, okay? But I did the demo many times. So imagine we do that with this, okay? So first of all, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 tabs, right? And I want this to be like this, right? I want to be the same width of this one, right? So first of all, I cannot display all my tabs pretty much. So that, so I can display all my tabs. See, I can, but because it's a 1, 2, 3, 4. But let's say I'm going to name them with the same name. So I think you got the points. So I'm going to name them with the same name, billing and, shipping of, I hate this UI, oof. And billing, shipping, and home. Yeah, this one I don't need. So this is how it looks like. This one is cut, right? So here I have space. Here are don'ts, right? So you will say, so here how this will be handled by a developer without design communication. Come, bill, and ship. So this is how you handle this. Oh, that's great. That's a great UI, by the way. That's very great. You understand everything. Come, bill, ship, home. It's very understandable. And but if I want to say here, I can say billing address. I have space. I have room. I can do shipping address. I can put more information, and I'm not and so I can do that. So you understand that this is the good UI. This is not. This is absolutely not the good UI at all. This is because I can do that. Which one looks better? I'm asking you. That's it. Okay. So and here I want an icon. Oh, okay, we can do an icon. So you go there, you put a button, and you do this, and then you go to pick up the icon, and so whether you can see it. Oh, it's here. So you put this and you put that here. Okay, so it's a big mess. Okay, because those doesn't handle the icon, but it goes away when you go there. So you need to do, when you go there, you need to duplicate this and go there, and put this here to make sure you have the icon still, right? Okay, this is not good. Okay, so it's not so, but I want to show you that it wasn't. So buy, okay? So when you want a vertical tab, this is what you need to do, okay? So do we have any questions for so far, Marge?
No, I think you're good. I don't see any questions currently.
Okay.
So
So you understand. So now I want to show you something cool. I want, right, to extend this even more. I want to extend that even more. So you say, wow. In this example, I have my addresses. Oosh. Okay. So I have a drawer. So I have a cabinet. right? And I have 3 drawers in this one. 1, 2, and 3. But here I want the animation. Here I don't. Because believe it or not, this also, it's a slide control. It's a slide control with 3 panels. So we have the accordion 3. So we have 2, 1, 2, 3. In the accordion 3, right, I have a button bar here with 3 buttons. I have a line, and I have another slide control, right? 1, 2, and 3. So the naming is very, very important. Even though it was on the slide 2 before, and let's pretend this is a slide 2, okay? Because normally it should have been 3, 3, 3, 3, but I don't want to rename it. So I have a slide control, and because the original of this slide is 2, I'm naming 2.1.1, 2.1.2, 2.1.3 to separate the 1, 2, and the 3. Okay. But because we cannot name twice the same, the 2 objects with the same name, I need to have a name. But with my naming, you know where it's positioned. This is positioned in the accordion number 2. I know it's in an accordion number 3 here because I moved it and I didn't rename it, but it's okay. Okay, you got the point here. And the button the same. This is a navigation bar 2 because I have a navigation bar 1 here. This is my navigation bar 2, right? And I name the button 1, 2, and 3 with a prefix button 2, button 2, button 2. This one, it's button 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is button 2.1.2.3. Okay. So I have another slide control, but so it's an embedded tab control. So you remember I show you that this is a design catastrophe. Okay. This is a design catastrophe. So so let's do the same. So primary. So let's name the thing, right? Primary, secondary, supplier. So let's say I have this. So ask yourself what looks better, and because it's the purpose of this webinar, good looking, right? Okay. So ask yourself what's good, what's the best looking? I'm asking you. Okay. This crap, right? Or this? It's the same. It's an embedded panel control because remember, this is a panel and this is the panel. But here, I want the gesture. I want the animation because the animation gives me even more, more comfort, right? You click here, you slide to the other one. You click here, you slide to the other one. Why? Because the action is not vertical, it's horizontal, right? My action here is horizontal. I'm moving here horizontally, horizontally, horizontally. So it makes sense to have an horizontal animation, right? It makes sense, right? It's cool, right? It's cool. And you can do something great if you want. Here, because I have a magic mouse and a trackpad, I can enable the swipe gesture. So that's cool. So, right? So what that means, with my mouse or the trackpad, I can swipe. So I see my mouse is here, it's not there. Swipe, 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 swipe. The same as here. No, here I don't have, but I can activate it. So here, you go there in the slide and you activate the gesture. We deactivate by default because we, and here you can slide. It makes sense to have the slide, it makes sense to have the gesture here, because you can navigate like this. And here you do the same, right? So not only it looks great, it's easy to implement, because I explained that many times how it works, right? But I can explain again. How this and this are connected. We have two objects. We have a button bar and we have a slide control. Okay. And they're connected. They both connected together. This is like a remote control. And this is the TV set, right? But the TV set is what tells the remote control what is activated. It's not the other way around. The remote control said, go there. And the action of getting there returns to the control, okay, I'm there, by the way, right? So how it works. First, activation of segments can be done. You can say, I want non-active, right? So if you say that, non-active, when you click, is active, right? But if you go to another layout and you come back, it won't be active anymore, right? If I do this, it's not active anymore. Oh yeah, but it's okay. You need to go out of the layout. Then you can say, oh, I want this one to be active. So this one will be the one active, Okay. Then you can say, okay, I want to activate by calculations. Okay. The activation by calculation works with the name of the object. Each button, you can name the bar. This is the name of the bar, the wall bar. And for each button in the bar, you can put a name. So this is how you name, this is why the smart naming with numbers. Don't say primary, don't say secondary, don't say home, don't say primary. Don't name it like this. Name it with numbers. Forget about what it is. We don't care what it is, because the name of the button and the title of the button are different. I can have a title that's different than the name of the button, right? You understand that, right? So forget about this private, because if you do, put a hard-coded name as the title, forget about copying and pasting in another layout, another solution, and voila, it works. You have to rename everything. You have to rename everything, and you have to rename all the buttons, and you need to go there and you need to rename all those buttons here, all those go to. You cannot keep this. You need to. It needs to. What's the name? You need to rename everything. With my system, you don't. You copy, paste, and boom, works. So how this is activated, okay? So all of this button are named that way, button underscore 2 points, button underscore 2 points, button underscore 2 points. The only thing that changed here is 1, 2, 3. So the name is working as this. This is the button underscore 2 points. And what changed is the number that this variable is going to tell me. As I move from slide to slide, this will change. This will change, right? As I go slide to slide, right? So here, so if I know the naming is because that was the unfinished version of FM starting point. So invoice slide, because that's the name, this here says that you return number 3. So based on my button naming, the activated button, the segments that is activated will be button underscore 2 points, because this doesn't move. Free demonstration. It is true. If I click if I click here, it's 1. Or no, 1 here, right? If I click here, it's 2. So he activates button underscore 2 points, 2, 0.1, 0.3, based on this returns. So what is this? No, what is this? As in the slide, you have a trigger that name on panel switch, and that Y is there. Understand? That Y is there. This trigger script that says set the variable where I'm going to go, where I'm going, get the trigger target panel number, right? This is what I want. I want to know where am I going, not where am I. I explained that many times. I want to know where I'm going. Before to go, you need to know where you go, no? When you get out of your home, you say, oh, I don't know where. I don't know what I'm doing. I get out and I don't know. I don't know who I am, what I'm doing. I don't know. No. When you get out, you have I need to go to the haircut, and I need to visit a friend, and I need to go to the grocery. So you have a plan. You know where to go. So this is exactly what I want to do. I want to know where I'm going, So the script here is going to tell me where I'm going. So let's do it, right? Let's track this trigger stuff, right? So I'm going to trigger this, go, boom. Okay, not this one, here. Go to object and boom, I have the on, because the go to object say, hey, you asked me to switch panel, so I have a trigger. Okay. And the trigger says get trigger. So we have a lot of trigger, right? So this is only while a trigger, an on something trigger, where you won't be able to have this on the script. You need a trigger. That's why it's named trigger. And I want to go to know where I'm going, the target panel. So that returns, I'm going to the number 2 and the name of the accordion. I don't care about the name of the accordion. I care about the number 2, right? This returns 2 values. The first is the number of the panel, the positioning of the panel. It's the number is this. is this. One, two is the panel number 2. You know, here is the panel number 2. 2, this number, whatever, it's the number of the objects. Okay. So thanks to that trigger, I know I can fill my variable, and thanks to my variable, right? Thanks to my variable, I know which button to say I want to activate, right? So do we have any questions?
Yes.
Okay.
How would you address in the accordion technique having a separate address table and an account for the various address types?
A related table, a related fields. Because inside here you put related, you can put related things. Here I can put, I don't know, in this accordion, you know, I can put whatever. In this accordion, you know, I can even put a polo if I want. And I don't know. I wonder, you know, the notes, for example. I don't know. I'm making up like dates and not type, not subject. You know? So I have her now. I have a tab with notes. You know, put whatever you want there. So if there's another table, it's because it's a FileMaker layout. It's a slide. You put whatever you want in the tab. In that slide, right? You can put whatever you want. It's a regular tab. Yeah. Next.
I think that was it in terms of questions.
Okay. So I can take 10 minutes because I want to address something. So now you understand the good looking thinking. Okay. So this is good looking. We have the gesture, you know, it looks great. This is a pure FileMaker, you know. You have it on FM starting point, my FM starting point. I'll say, I mean the Nick Hunter version, right? So it's very simple how you address this with the style. So you have the inactive. When you active, I want 2 pixel, 2 points bar on the bottom, right? You can see it. And I want the bar blue. Okay. But anything else, I want transparent. Don't do this. Why? See, it moved 2 up. Why? Is because you say, yeah, the active have 2 pixels. The active have 2 pixels here, but you said the inactive has none. No, instead you said, no, it's 2 pixel transparency, right? On all the other states. Active, 2 pixel blue. All the other states, 2 pixel transparent. So, and now it's not moving, right? So it's very simple to do something like this. But something I want to address is now this. You saw how we use the buttons here. Okay. So this is the bottom bar, right? And we use the same technique here with the name to activate which one, right? So this is a good looking button, but I want something universal. I want a button that works always with whatever I put there. So first of all, this button it's a pure universal button. First, I'm taking the name of the button from the value list. I don't have a name here of the button. I don't have a button name here. I mean, I don't have a title. The title is from a button, is from a value list, from this value list here, you know, the con status. So the value list here, I'm going to the value list, and the con should be easy to, this one, active, inactive disregards, right? So active, inactive disregards. But so you know now that you activate or deactivate the state of the button bar based on this object name, right? So I cannot say this is activate, because if I do, right, that's cool, it's hard-coded. But what happens if you do this technique and you say, no, it's not active, I want to change that to good. I change the value list. So now it's no longer, you know, it's good, right? Active, inactive, disregard. So it changed completely. So how it will work, if the name of the button is activated and this now is good. So you need to use numbers as a name. 1, 2, 3. But you say, yeah, but how I can change a name, a title, a word into a number? Haha. Yes, we can. You know, yeah, we can. You know, despite the other guy that said that I can do it. So yes, we can. So how to do this? You need one of my free to use and free to exploit custom function, get value position, right? So let's say, no, let's do like this. Let's take the calculation here. Okay, let's dissect this. How I can transform good into 1, active, inactive into 2, right? And disregard into 4, into 3. So here, my calculation, right? The toggle name, this is the button. This is the hard-coded button. You know, they all button underscore toggle underscore 1 underscore, you know, they all this is all the same. Ding, 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 ding. So this is hard-coded. Then I have the status, because this field is connected to the status field. Good, right? Actually, it's a good what inside the. Then I have the value list. No, the value list name. This is my value list that I'm taking out those values. This is the list of value inside the value list. Good, inactive, and disregards. With a little difficulty here. I did on purpose to show you that, you know, we can do it, right? The text is this. I'm going to use this. I'm going to remove this from my list because I don't need it. So I remove this from my list. So now you know how I'm debugging, why I'm using the let statements. Why the let statement is super cool. You put everything on the table, you know, boom, 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 everything you need. I need the button, I need the hard-coded name. I need the whatever in the status. I need the value list name. I need the what the value list is returning. I need to clean up the value list, the list of values, removing things. So I'm putting everything on the table, right? So I have this value, and I can put here whatever statements, and I return. So I clean this, and now I'm using my get value position. So good is in position 1. So let's do something here. Let's look at this custom value. Get value position. Let's say I have a list of values that say good, inactive, and disregard. Okay. Right? And this is what the field is returning. Let's say it's returning inactive, right? List. Good, inactive, inactive. What happened here? Get value position. So, oh yeah, no, sorry, I reverse this. So I'm looking for inactive. That was my field, whatever field status returns. And this is my list. Inactive is in position 2, 1, 2. If I said I want to disregard here, it said in position 3. It said good, it said in position 1. So I have my list, 1, 2, 3, and I have a field with one of the 3. Based on the one inside the fields, I'm converting the position in the list of whatever in the field. So now, with this technique, it's button toggle 1.1 because, you know, because whatever in the status field. So let's put status field here. The status field returns is good, but if I manually go there, so to show you how powerful this is, if I say inactive, boom, it changed the button, and it changed this is 2 now, is 1.2. If I say disregard, boom, it changed because it's free. So this button here will work universally, right? Universally. And it will work even though you have another script that set the fields with another way. You don't have to click on the button to change this. If I have another script that says, oh no, replace all those with disregard, for example, yeah. Let's say you have a script that do this. Boom, they all disregard all. Right? So now let's say you have, and then after that we go. Let's say we go to my other layout. No, another. Oh, here, this one. Another solution. Another solution and another layout. I'm putting there. Right. right? Putting there, and I'm creating a field test a month. Okay? Creating the field month. Putting the field on the layout to show you how freaking universal this is, right? And going to the value list, and I'm creating a new one month. And I put, I don't know, the free month, right? January, February, and March. For example, free month. I have free buttons at home, right? I'm going there, and I'm saying that this here is going to the month value list, right? So you need to go, and there, this is going to the month value list. And it's going to be to the month's value list, right? Just replace that text here. You don't even have to, right? So here you do the same. You say month, right? And go to, where's the month? Oh, I'm in T01. So I'm not going to do all of them, but no. I'm going to, yeah, I can do it. It's okay. So month, right? So you can do the same here. You go there, you say there's a value 2, going to month. You don't have to change anything else. You go to the T01 month, right? And the same here. So you click here and you say, I want to the, that because I didn't use a script. I could have used a script. It would have be faster, but it's okay. And now I'm changing this and I'm saying, I want the month, right? Going to the value list month. And, oh, something wrong here. What happened here? I might have a, oh, I forgot to put month. Okay. So in 2 minutes, I have a button working. And if I'm changing here April, why is it April? Oh, because I already have the, I think I already have a value list month, something like this, right? Free. So 1, 2, 3. And if I say January, boom, it changed. It's universal. I didn't change anything, right? Copy paste. Just remap the name of the what's the name of the list of values, and that's it. You know, I don't even have to think about how it works, right? Just rename this. Just change those things. Those this with this. Do we have question before we land the ship?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, I'm surprised there's no question on this. But it's not the first time I'm speaking about this. So this is to explain that you can have good-looking thinking without, you know, difficulties, right? And then you can expand the thing. Like for example, here you have a, you know, this, and you can have 2 address here. So you have 2 buttons here. When you open it, you still have 2 here, right? See? You can do this. You can expand this. And so, you know, you can do whatever you want. So, okay. So tomorrow, we're going to continue this and show you more things.
That will be, if I share my screen, we'll continue this tomorrow. As you can see the schedule right here.
Yes. So tomorrow, yeah. So what we do tomorrow? Yeah.
Reusable custom objects.
Yes.
Lists and Talia.
I did a little bit of today, so I'm going to yeah. It's okay. I will do more tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes, you will. Thank you very much, Nick. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I'm going to run the credits. We will see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir!